ways to do it. One is through the calendar. So if I was to go into my calendar, which don't get stressed from my calendar, you're going to go in and you're going to hit create. And hopefully it works. And you're going to add your title, meeting. Now, you can add guests right here. And the good thing about doing this is if you add guests right here, you are going to automatically add it to their Meet. So even though my children, Mira and Lucian, who are in elementary school, do not have access to their email, I can still invite them this way. So this is one way to do it. I can add other people too. I'm just going to add Josh because he's the first one to come up. Now, the other kicker is you have to go down here and hit Rooms, Location, Conferencing. I'm going to add conferencing, and it's automatically going to add a link, all right? Now, if you don't want to add these people, you don't have to. You could just create it and then copy this link and share that later, and we'll talk about that later. So once I hit save, I can hit send. You don't have to send if you're sending it to little kids because anyone under 3rd grade doesn't have access to email. But if they do, like for example, I invited Josh and I invited Mira. So maybe I want to hit send. So I'm just going to hit don't send at this point because it's just a practice. And there you go. Now, when I need to copy that link later, I would just go in. And right here, you can see the Meet. This means to copy it. I'm going to copy it to my clipboard, and then I can share it out later. Now, another way to do this is from Google Classroom. Google Classroom now integrates with Meet. So to do this, you can see I'm in my beginner's Google Classroom. I'm going to go into settings. I'm going to scroll down. Under General, you'll see right here, Meet. Here's my Meet ID. I'm going to click on Visible to Students. That's going to click it on for them. And then I'm going to hit Save. Now, when I go back to my classroom, you can see right here, my Meet link is available because it's visible to students. I can also go into classwork, and it's also visible here, Meet. So at any time, because it's visible to the students, they can see that. All right? Now, here's a little fun fact about this. Many people were concerned about kids rejoining. If you go back down and make it not visible to students, and then click here to reset, it's going to change the link, and it will also not allow students to rejoin the Meet that we had before. So now, the Meet I did have in my Google Classroom, kids can't go back on and join that link, even if they have it bookmarked or they go into their history. It'll give them a warning saying this Meet is not available. So if you're one of the people who's concerned about kids rejoining, that might be a really good option for you. Now, finally, the last way to create a Hangout is to go to, or a Meet, is to go to hangouts.google.com. Now, there's been a lot of question about, well, what's a Hangout? What's a Meet? Google kind of combined the two. It used to be just one thing, right? So from Google Hangouts, you're going to click Video Call, which is a Meet, right? When I click on Video Call, notice where it takes me. It takes me to meet.google.com. So Meet is actually the video. Hangouts is only the chat feature, all right? So from Hangout, or from Meet here, from the Meet page, I'm going to join or start a meeting, and then I'm going to hit join, and that's going to take you into the Meet page. Now, seeing right here, these are all the other things I have today. This is what your students would see if you put them on a calendar. So if you teach pre-K, if you teach kindergarten, if you teach 1st grade, and you want to have a Meet with your kids, and you add them via their calendar, they will go to meet.google.com and automatically see what meetings they have during that day. So that is the how to start a Meet. Does anyone have any questions from there? I'll pop back over and check my chat. I didn't hear anything come through, but I'll check.
Lancy, I have a question.
Okay.
So you know how you said you can make it so they can't rejoin the same link? How
Correct.
long is that link good for?
As long as you have it visible to students.
Okay.
So
but
the only
save it in their history?
Right. So if they save it in their history, we tried that. Josh and Chris and I have played with it a little bit. It saves for like 2 minutes or so, but then after that, we were not able to go back through and rejoin that link.
Okay. So how are these kids doing it? When I'm on Go Guardian, I see 3 or 4 of them talking.
Correct.
Something.
So they are doing it from the calendar link that we have shared through Calendar, or they're doing it through when we go into Google Meet and share that link out, they're doing it.
Okay. And they're inviting each other through that?
Well, they can't invite others. They can they can copy and paste the link because they didn't create the link. Because they didn't create that meeting, they can then join it back up. The safeguards against it are we have Go Guardian locking down Meet between the hours of 8 p.m. and 7 a.m. They also can't access it on the weekends. So at this point, there's only so much, control that we have. Most of the kids at the upper levels are just using their cell phones, so whatever. It's really the intermediate and the junior high kids who don't maybe have cell phones. Those are the kids that might be abusing it.
Right.
So
I get that they need to talk with each other. I'm fine with that. It's just when they start, doing stupid stuff on there. So yesterday I sent a message saying, "How are you on here without a teacher?" And the kid answered, "Well, my friend invited me."
Right. So their friend must have had the link saved. And you could always go on Go Guardian and kick them off. But
they immediately went off. They turned everything off when I said that.
So and that's the thing. There's going to be some kids who abuse it, and we just have to deal with that. The majority of the kids are using it for the right way. So I have a question from Joy. I just want to show one more time how to show in Google Classroom. You're going to click on the settings within the classroom. This is classroom by classroom. You can't do it overall. And then under settings, you'll see down to general. You'll see Meet, visible to students. You're going to click that button, hit save. And then you'll see it's right here, or it'll be on the classwork page. Well, and it's available on the classwork page. There's a little Meet tab here. To turn it off or to reset it, you're going to go down here, click visible to students, and then you're going to hit reset. If you don't reset it, I'm pretty sure they can rejoin it. So that's the only kicker with that.
And Lancy, if I can interject, and I'm sorry, you're doing a great job, but we just learned last night that Google made a change yesterday that makes it so that unless the person who created the meeting in classroom is actually in the classroom, kids can't join it. So I don't know that we'll need to go through those steps.
Okay.
But that's a new setting yesterday.
Okay.
So we're still trying to figure it out as we go.
And Google has been changing it. I mean, before I don't think it was that big of a deal, but now because of all of the people that are on and all of the kids using it, there are security issues. So hopefully as we go through, things will continue to change in a positive direction. So that's really good. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is how to share a Google Meet with kids. Now, this really comes down to how you currently reach out to your kids. How do you reach out to your families? The first thing I said was doing through Calendar. It automatically sends them an email. So if you talk to your kids through email, or if you talk to the parents through email or anything like that, you're going to create a calendar event with conferencing, add that student's email to it, and then just either explain to the parents they need to go onto the Meet app on a tablet or meet.google.com, log in with their students. If they don't have if it's a little kid, if it's an older kid, they should automatically be logged in, something like that. You can send them a message over Hangouts if you use the chat portion. If you are using Google Classroom to talk to your kids, you can post an announcement. Hey, we're going to have a meet on Wednesday at 8 a.m. Join here. Or, like I said, you can do it through parent contact. You can invite parents or outside people, although I don't recommend it. I really am trying to keep people to using the kids' logins. But I know with like the littles, it might not be as easy because you guys haven't used Google Classroom. So you can add people from the outside of the organization and they can join. You will just have to admit them. They will get a, hold on, down here. They will get a notification. Hold on 1 second. Right here. You should be encouraging parents to use their home or pride account, but if you invite someone outside our domain, they will have to ask to join, and then you, the creator, will have to admit them entry. All right, so that was a big question I keep getting as well. And I did try that with my husband, who not only doesn't have a home or pride account, but he also has a Yahoo account. So even though he didn't have Gmail, he was able to join eventually. All right, any questions on how to share it? Again, that's totally up to you guys. That's through Dojo, through Remind, through Google Classroom. It's however you are sharing with your students. Can you copy the link to Remind? Absolutely, Heather. That would be great. It's just that people would have to log in with their home or pride account, or parents, and you'd have to admit them. Can I use this to having a guest speaker, Barb? Yes, absolutely. You could totally have a guest speaker and record it and then have the kids watch it another time. You would just have to admit them. So now that you guys are all here in my Meet and you can see all your lovely faces, I just want to go over some of the Meet things that you see on my screen right now. On the bottom left, right here, you can see, oh, what about, okay, I'll get back to that, Stacy. On the bottom left, I think I'm going to answer Stacy's question right now. She asked about people without like a smartphone or something like that. If I click on this, you can see here is my joining my joining information, all of the stuff about my Meet. If I want to send attachments to everyone, people can use the link, or you can dial in. If they don't have access to a smartphone or something like a camera or whatever, they can dial in and then they can just hear everyone's voices. Here's another place to copy the info. All right. To mute yourself, you're going to click on this mute button. You can see everyone's screens. Everybody's doing a great job with their mute button. Everyone is muted except for me, and I have the little sound bars on mine. The red is to close the meeting, to leave the meeting. And the video camera here turns my camera off. So you can see some people don't have their cameras on, and that's totally fine. They can still hear me. They can still probably see me, but they don't have, I can't see them. All right. If ever this bar goes away, if you're not on the bar and it disappears, you can click anywhere on your screen that you see. I just clicked on myself and it'll pop back up. See how it went away? I'm going to click.
You're muted, Lancy.
Working on it.
Here we go.
I muted myself when I clicked on myself. Yep. Thank you. You're welcome. Ah. You can see that while this is happening, the more people that are online, the clunkier Meet gets, which is why I started limiting the PDs to 25 people instead of 100, because once there's 100 people, it gets a little crazy. So I was just talking about captions. Of course, nobody could hear me. So I hit turn on captions, and the captions will pop up on the bottom of the screen. They are pretty good in live time. It might be a little, oh, there it goes. It might be a little slow because, again, we've got a bunch of people on. So I'm going to turn them off because I don't need any more things messing with my stuff. Now, this is a question I get a lot. How do I present my screen? How do I show the kids what I see? So you're going to click on this right here where it says you are presenting. Yours will say present now. And when you click on that, It'll ask you if you want to present your entire screen or a window. I would suggest your entire screen. This tells me to stop presenting. And when you do that, please look at the directions I gave you, because another box will pop up. I can't show you what it looks like right now because I'm in it, but the other box will come up. It'll show you your screen. You need to click on the box of your screen, and then the blue share button will appear. You click share. Now, from that, when you are presenting, the kids can still see you in the sidebar. Just like you guys can probably see me right now talking, but you can also see my screen. So you got a whole lot of Lancy happening. The kids will still see you, all right? They also, if you have other kids who are muted, they also will see, or if other kids are talking, they'll see other people pop up on the side if you can hear them, right? So, like right now, Barb's microphone isn't muted, so if she says something, go ahead, Barb.
Okay.
So Barb probably is going to pop up on the side, right? So this is a good way for teachers to team teach if you're doing a lesson together and you want to have both of your faces presenting to make a recording for the students. This is a great way to do that. So finally, we get to those three little dots over on the side. Here we go. So finally, these three little dots over here. In these three little dots, I can stop recording. I can change the layout of my screen. Right now, you'll see my layout's kind of weird because I'm like tiled. It's like a big Lancy. You can change that right now to auto. I'm going to go to tiled. Let's see if that messes anything. There you go. So now it's tiled. You still have the Google Meet view. That's up there. You can go full screen in this. So I can get rid of like any of my other tabs or whatever along the top. If I don't want the students to see that while I'm presenting, I can click that. To get out of full screen, as always, you're going to hit the escape bar. From there, you can also turn on settings if you wanted to. And this, or I'm sorry, you can turn on captions. Again, you can just turn on captions from the bar right here, but that's just another option. The settings that they give you under these three dots are just audio and visual settings. So for example, if you want to use a different camera, if you want a different microphone, right now I'm using my Bluetooth headphone microphone. If I wanted to switch to my computer microphone, that's where you would do this. You can also use a phone for audio. So let's say I want to mute my audio on the computer because it's not really that good, and I just have my audio through the phone. I can do it here. You can report a problem to Google or get help. So that's the bottom toolbar. I'm going to click up and see if I have any questions about that. Maybe. All right, so how about people with no email? Yep, I noticed join by phone. So Stacey, I hope I answered your question. If people don't have an email, you can send them the phone number and the PIN to join. Must students be using Chrome browser to join Meet? It's very helpful, Jonathan, if they are. You can join a Meet in another browser, but you cannot log in with their, they wouldn't be logged in really with their Google. Well, they might be able to log in. It just would be very clunky. Chrome would be the best way to use Meet. Oh, I'm muted. Yep. Okay. When you're, oh, here's a great question. Renee wants to know, when you're presenting your screen, how can you still see your student? You can, but you have to do a split screen. So you would have to like pull this down here and split your screen to snap it. Or you can change the view, Renee. If you change the view, you can bring your presentation up, you can bring the student up and you up, but it gets a little wonky. Really, unless you're like really good at getting it all going together, it's kind of hard to see your students. So you may not be able to see them while you're presenting your screen. So with that, I'm going to show you right here how to use these top buttons up here, okay? So this is Google Grid View. This is an extension that we push through. We have it for everyone. Even the kids have it now. It allows you to see everyone like I'm looking at everyone now. Right here, I have my participants. There's 26 of us in here, which is great. You can see there's me. Here's my presentation, like I was saying, if I wanted my presentation to be up there. And then I can go through and see all my participants. Oh my gosh, talking. This right here is an add-on I have. You guys don't need to worry about that. That's something I added on. It automatically takes attendance for me because I've been having these and I need to put them into my learning plan. If you're interested about that add-on, you can talk to me later and I can tell you about it if you want to know who's attending your meeting. And finally, right here is the chat. So when I click on chat, it brings it up. Safety belt. If I pull up a Google Doc in one tab and then hit present, the share button will pop up, and how does it know which doc? So that's a great question, Stacy. If I'm in right now, it says present, or it said present, and I chose my entire screen. If you're in your entire screen, the kids are going to see literally what I see. So right now, I see Google Classroom. That's what you guys see. If I click here, it's a new tab. I can't see any of you, but I see Google. I'm flying through space. That's what the kids see. If you choose a window, then they're only going to be able to see the one window you have. For example, right now, I'm running 2 monitors. I have my list on what I want to do with you guys. I want over here so I can follow along. And then I have this right here. If when I go to present screen, it asks me if I want a window, I can present just one window and not the entire screen. So then I could still see everybody on this screen, but then only you guys would see my window. Does that make sense? I know it's a little confusing, but really that's what I mean when I say you want to present your entire screen, because then you know exactly what they're seeing. You are clicked right on what they're seeing. I had another question come through, I think is a good one. Can you block the chat so if students are misusing it? For example, students typing, hey, 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 multiple times in here. Not that I know of. You know, this is a really good way to practice good digital citizenship skills. And hopefully, you know, the kids, if you can talk to them about it and say, hey, you know, that's really not appropriate. I'm trying to have this meet with you. If you're not going to use it appropriately, then maybe we can't do this anymore and you're going to ruin it for everyone. You can remove people. To do that, you're going to click on the People tab here. And you can see here, going down, I have all these people in my chat. Oh, there we go. So let's say I want to remove Josh because he's being really obnoxious and annoying all the kids. First of all, I can mute him, right? He's already muted, so there's that. I can pin him, which means when I click pin, let's say he's been really bad and really annoying me. Come on. If I click pin, what will happen is, let's see if it worked. It's going to pin him to the top of my list. So in other words, when I go into people now, he should be right at the top of my list, or he's right here on my screen. So I can see him really quickly, like, hey, you're right there. I don't want to have to do this, you know, don't be a nudge. Let's say he continues to be a nudge. Sorry, Josh, I'm going to kick you off. And I need to get rid of him. So what I would do is I'm going to click the down arrow. Oh, Joy's right next to him. She's going to get kicked off accidentally. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the user. And when I click remove user, it's going to ask me if I'm sure. And then I would remove him. And then he gets kicked off the call. Now, he can easily rejoin. That's the negative part of it. He can come back on. He can rejoin. The only way to keep someone from rejoining from our end is to have Go Guardian in another tab and lock their screen. That's the only way I figured out how to get it so they can't rejoin. So if you have those nudgy kids who are being obnoxious, keep joining, they're not doing what they're supposed to, you would have to go into Go Guardian, open up their open up your session and lock their screen. And he's back. Sorry, Josh. All right. I think I saw another question come in. Can you explain the nod? Oh, so up here in the left, you'll see I have the nod extension. This is another extension. I cannot explain it. I put it on. I don't know how to use it. So Kelly, I'm sorry that's one of those things that I added because Josh was like, this is cool, you should add it. And I'm like, okay. And in my life right now, I have not had time to play with it. I think that when you do it, you can, oh, Josh is sending me a thumbs up. Yeah. So I can basically say like a thumbs up, well done, yay. And it sends out that to other people. I don't know what it looks like to you guys right now. I can see Josh is sending me things. So I think it's a way for kids to be able to answer questions. Hey, what do you guys think? Everybody, thumbs up, thumbs down. Kids can give you a thumbs up. And oh, see, I raised my hand. So that way I can see that while I'm presenting, and then I know if people are asking questions. I wrote LOL because this is, Hot Mess Express over here. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. So Kelly, that was the Lancy version of Nod, and I will try to be better at it next time. I'm very sorry. All right, so now I'm pretty much at the end of my questions. I do have some frequently asked questions that I put on the end of my Google Meet 101. Basically, how it looks when I present my screen, right? And I kind of talked about that. I'm going to try to show you exactly what it looks like. Just to give you an example of what the students see. If it loads. All right, well, this is loading. My cat is trapped in here with me. Hold on. Go ahead. Sorry, cat problems. Well, while this is loading, I'll just say the next question is, can I use the same Meet code or URL address every time? You can absolutely use the same code every time, over and over. Every time you create a new code, unless it's in Google Classroom, because you reset it and it goes away, you open a new room for kids. So it's kind of like a chat room. So obviously Google is working on that and trying to make it so that doesn't happen. But if you want to just use one code and you just send it out like Heather had said in Remind, or put it in your Google Classroom, say, hey, this is the code we're always going to use, then you're going to only have opened one meeting room. There's only one thing that has been open for kids to join. And let's see. How do we prevent students from logging back on with Meet links when they aren't there? I went over that. And then I even said on here, if you have another question, let me know. All right, obviously this is being wonky. Let me try and close out as many windows as possible. And I will try one more time. If you have any questions right now, please throw it in chat. Hopefully that I can get it answered. We're only a half an hour in, but if that's all, I knew I threw a lot of stuff at you. This morning or last night, I sent everyone a copy of my Google Meet Cliff Notes, which is just 2 pages, short and sweet. And I also finished up my Google Meet 101, which is a little more advanced. If you have questions, please let me know, and I will try and put them on there for other people, because I have been getting a lot of the same questions over and over. It's just, they kind of flow together. So I'm starting to forget which ones people are asking about, which app. Oh, come on. So while this is going, I've tasked my children with building new houses for us. They're building Lego houses, their dream house. And my daughter has decided to build a barn. So apparently we are going to live in a barn. All right, let's see if I can get this to work. I was working with Baldwin the other day, and he wasn't sure how it shows the screen. So I just wanted to show you an example of what it looked like when he and I were talking and going back and forth. So here I am. Jim is sharing his screen with me. That's the video. Jim was not using his Chromebook because he doesn't like it. So what we figured out was when he was creating his Meet, and after he recorded it, he had to download it to his hard drive to upload it to YouTube, which is what I suggest. And if anybody hasn't seen,
There's a chance that Lancey bumped herself out of this meeting. While we wait for her to come back, a piece of suggestion that she actually gave me, which is a really neat idea, is some folks have been asking for how to record your screen and make a presentation based upon that. And Google Meets is a good way to do that. So you can create a meeting with just you in it, and then simply record that meeting, and I can actually show you. Oh, here she is. It's Lancey. Welcome back, Lancey. I was just talking to, yeah, I was just about to describe how to use Meet to do Screencastify type stuff, but I'm sure you'd be far more adept at that.
I don't know, I kind of would like you to do it.
Yeah, my son's vacuuming downstairs. That's going to be my excuse for muting myself now.
All right, so the question is how to use Meet as like a Screencastify. Basically, all you need to do is start a Meet by yourself. You're alone. And then you are going to go to the three little dots in the corner. There. Hit record. Just you. You're going to record. Right? Start recording. Well, you would hit start recording. And then you would present your screen. The same thing happens that I just showed with Jim and I. I don't know when I lost connection and when you guys lost me, but you will still be on the side, just you. It'll just be you on the side of the screen, talking while you're presenting your screen to everyone. So although you cannot see yourself, you can see yourself in the top right corner, like up over here, I see myself, but you can't do that. Now, I know some people like Screencastify because they have the opportunity to kind of draw on your screen. I mean, you can still do that through the different apps. There's Jamboard is an interactive whiteboard app. If you're not familiar with that, no. Barb says no. I can't hear you, Barb. Barb, what's your question? You can still do whatever you need to do, talking over things. You could create a presentation in Google Slides or PowerPoint, whatever you want to do. Jim Baldwin likes PowerPoint, so he was doing it on PowerPoint. He recorded it. He had his PowerPoint going on the screen, and as it was going, he was talking over it. So that's kind of how you would do that. If you're used to using Active Inspire, again, you can use Active Inspire on your Chromebooks through Cameo, which is when you go into Clever and open it up through there. And you could just do the same thing where you're talking over it. It would still record. Oh, thanks, Barb. Yeah, any other questions? Good vibes. I love seeing all your smiling faces. If you do have questions, please email me. I'm going to stop recording.
Wait, I just have a question about the attendance. How do you get that button up in the right-hand corner to take attendance?
It is called, you'd have to ask me that right now. It's called, hold on. It was an extension. I had to add it. Let me see, what was it called? I forget what it was called. Josh sent it to me layer 1, layer 2.
Where do you add extensions?
So to add an extension, you're welcome, everyone. You're going to go to the Chrome Web Store. Chrome Web Store. And this is where you would add an extension, right? I may as well just do it, right? So then it's on here. And you search the store here. So I think this one was called like Google Meet Attendance. I should know. Josh sent me an email, but I forget what the exact name of it. But if I type that in, I'll be able to see. And when I search, apparently I can't spell attendance. All right, so here it is right here. This is the one I have, Stacy. It's called Meet Attendance. So when you go to add Chrome, and it would add. Now, to go into your, you can see I have a lot of extensions. These are my extensions up here. To see where your
I can't
extensions
see
are,
anything. I can only see you.
Oh, because I'm not presenting my screen anymore. You got to tell me this stuff. All right, hold on. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to present now my entire screen. Okay. Sorry, our office door is very squeaky. All right, so I go in the Chrome Web Store. I literally just searched Chrome Web Store, and then I found this, chrome.google.com web store, right? Google Meet Attendance. So this is the one I have. You can see it says added. This is the one I'm using. To get to your extensions, what you already have, up here at the top, these are all my extensions. I have a lot of them because I just use a lot of extensions. I try and make things as easy as possible for myself. These are all my bookmarks. If you weren't here for one of my other things, to make your bookmarks so they're just the icon and not the whole word, so you can fit more on there. Like this one right here, I can change it right now. When you add it, just get rid of the name. Don't put the name there, or you can edit it and save it. Now you can see that that's still my remote desktop support. So to see what extensions you have, you're going to go to More Tools, and you're going to go to Extensions, and that's going to open up a new tab with all of your extensions in it. Now, when people start getting those things where you open a new tab and it's like Yahoo Shopper, and you're like, this isn't right. This is where you would go to get rid of things. So these are all my extensions. You can see I have a lot of them, but that is because I add them myself. If I have an extension that's giving me problems, I can come in here and I can remove it. So for example, here's my Bitmoji extension. People always ask me, how do you put your Bitmoji on anything? I added the extension, and then this little blue button turns it on. I can keep the extension and just turn it off if I don't want to have it up there, but I use it, so I'm going to keep it on. This right here, Aristotle Student, this right here, this little orange button, I don't know if you can see it, it's supposed to be a picture of like our school. That means that it was added by pretty much Chris or Josh. They added those extensions. I can't get rid of them. You'll see here, I can't get rid of them. Those are things that we need to use. Here's one that I added to help out some teachers who were having trouble staring at a screen all day. It's called Dark Theme for Chrome, and basically what it does, it just makes everything on your screen the opposite, so it does the negative. It's very dark. Here's an Edpuzzle extension I just added. Giphy for Chrome, so I add my GIFs. Google Meet View I added. Here's the Meet Attendance at the nod. Screencast 5, Screencast Max. So let's say I'm going to turn these two off. I don't need them right now. I'm going to click those. They're still there, but now they're no longer up here on my extension bar. So if I want to, I can go back through and I can turn them back on. I'm not removing them, but it's good to go through and check what extensions you have sometimes, because if you have too many extensions, it can really slow down your internet, slow down what you're doing. Right now, mine's slow because I'm presenting. I've got a lot of people on Meet. I also have 2 screens going right now. So yeah, that was a good question though, Dave. Anybody else have any questions? Let's see, I see a bunch of stuff in the chat. I think it's people just leaving. You're welcome, everyone. All right, Heather Purcell, this is a good question. Can you walk through the invite for kindergartners with no Gmail one more time? What I see and what they see, so then I can, okay, troubleshoot for parents. Absolutely. So what I would do is, and this is what I've done with my children. Let's see if their Chromebooks are in here. So I would go into your calendar, okay? And I'm going to show you exactly how what they would see on their end, okay? What I would do is if the kids have, they're working at home, they're going to have a calendar, but they don't access their calendar, right? So you're going to create a calendar invitation. Now, it's kind of a pain in the butt because you have to type in each of their emails, but I think this is the easiest way for you to be able to show them, for you to be able to get them on, the easiest way. So again, I would hit create, and then I would do a meeting. Remember, I made this meeting earlier, and I invited my daughter Mira, right? All I did was, here, let me delete this. So to create it, I would go here, create. I would do the time that I want it to be. So let's say I want this for tomorrow from 9:30 to 10:30. I'm going to add guests. So I'll use Lucian this time because, whatever. I'm going to add Lucian. And now I'm going to hit save. All right. Now I'm not going to send the, oh, hold on. I forgot one thing. I don't know if you caught that, but I forgot to add conferencing. You have to add the conferencing to it. So now, even though he won't get an email, I can tell the parents that tomorrow at 9:30, I would like you to log on and join this meet. Now, for practice sake, I'm going to have it for right now. I'm going to do it for today, and I'm going to hit save. I'm not going to send them an email. So let's pretend it's tomorrow morning. Okay. So tomorrow we're going to log in at 9. So now I'm going to log in as Lucian. So when the parents go to meet.google.com or the Meet app on their tablet or the Meet app on their phone, they can use the Meet app on their phone. They're going to log in as their child. So first grade, 31, Lucian is L. Collins at Homer Pride. Mira's second, and then all their passwords are the same. Is it ASDF, or FDSA, one of those things. I know kindergarten's the same thing. You guys are 32 first initial, whatever. So whatever it is, the kids, you're going to log in as the kid, right? With their Google Meet. This is what the parents would do. Now right here, you can see, this is what they would see. He can either use a meeting code, or because I scheduled it and added him, it's already there. So he can join that meeting. Your account only lets you join me. So he could click on practice and it would join the meeting for him. So if you do the work ahead of time, and if you have all of their emails in that Google Calendar Meet, and all they would have to do is go into Meet and hit join now, and they can join the call. So you can still see I'm still logged in as Lucian. Heather, I think that's the easiest way. All right. Oh, fingers crossed. Once you have created that, you can duplicate the invite and use the same guest, only a new date. So you really, oh yeah, that's a really good call. Jenny had a really good idea. Once you create it, I don't know if people know how to do this. Once you create a meet, let's say I have all the kids' names in here, right? And I'm like, oh God, I don't want to have to do it again. In that calendar invite, I'm going to click here on options, these 3 little dots, and I'm going to click duplicate. And now what that's going to do is it's going to take everything exactly the same. Here's my meet. Let's see. It has my Hangouts in there already. Lucian's already in here, all the names. All I have to do is change the date till tomorrow and hit save. I'm not going to send. But now it's already created. So Jenny, that's a really good call. I totally forgot about that. Thank you. So now you can see here and here, both of those were created just like that. All I had to do was edit it. So that's really great. Stacy, do you recommend we try and show them how to do Classroom or go for their emails? All right, Casey, I'm going to come back to yours. That's a good question too. So do you recommend we try and show them how to do through Classroom or go through email? It's up to you. If you have not used Google Classroom with your kids and with your parents, I don't know if that's something you want to start to navigate now. That might be a whole different animal. It might be just easier to go through their emails. I think that would probably be the easiest. Send them an explanation. Send them, the directions. Just join with Meet. Go to this Meet. If you don't have an email or you don't have the internet or whatever, you can join on the phone. And Casey, should we ask them which email they would like to use, theirs or the students? For safety's sake, I would say just have them start using the students if that's possible. I would only offer up parent emails if it becomes an issue with kids joining. I think that you're just, because we're having issues right now with some second grade parents we gave out class codes, or teachers gave out class codes, and now the parents are joining Google Classroom, and it's been kind of a mess. So we definitely want to keep things separate as much as possible, but I also don't want the kids not to be able to join because the parents don't understand. So I hope that makes sense. All right, it's 9:17. Does anyone have any other questions? How's everybody feeling? You feel a little better about me? Jenny is also a pro. So is Chrissy. So if you have questions, you can always ask them as well. Oh boy. My children are outside running around the office window right now. It's Lord of the Flies around here. I don't know about anybody else, but we are now growing feral children. So with that being said, I won't tell you any more terrible things while I'm recording still. I'll wait till I'm done recording. Betsy, I have a great story about cupcake and donut hole for you.